The Aloha State ripples in glory, and her people attack a new day of seaside play. Energy spouts from Hawaii's pores. And even as one day comes to an end, a new day dawns for the young at heart. It's time to take football inside. Arena football comes back to the Blaisdell Center and to Honolulu, Hawaii.
Tape. Oh, maybe not. I don't know. Are we on the air yet, guys? You're cool. There, we are, yeah.
East in the West, brought to you by AFL China. These are your main announcers. I'm just the host, the man in the middle, Lou Tilley, along with Ricky Waters and Russ Francis. Mr. Hawaii, you are like Magnum on the island here, and you must be happy to have this game come.
I am so excited to have this game here. Hawaii's been hosting the Pro Bowl for the NFL for over 30 years. Now they have the Pro Bowl of the AFL game coming to Hawaii. This is the first time. It's historic, and as you'll be mentioning as we go throughout the show, and Ricky will be talking about, this game doesn't stop here. It goes on to Beijing, China.
We'll be telling you about that all through the program. Ricky, you've been here for Pro Bowls 5 times yourself. When these guys pull on the helmet anytime, anywhere, it's serious stuff, right?
Oh, it's serious stuff. When I played, it didn't matter when I was playing, what I was playing. It didn't matter if it was an all-star game, if it was preseason football. I play to win, and these guys have that same type of attitude. I'm looking forward to this one right now.
We have the best of the AFL. They played their Arena Bowl a few months ago, and the coaches from those two teams are here, and they brought along their star quarterbacks from the West. Nick Davila is here from Arizona, Russ.
There's a quarterback, Nick Davila, that's got 442 career touchdowns. As a receiver, I'm starting to salivate just a little bit. Watching him warm up and watching Carson Kaufman from the West warm up, these guys will put the ball in the air. They will score a lot of touchdowns. The East, Ricky, is going to have their hands full.
That's coached by Clint Ozell, and he brought along Dan Rattleball.
Yes, he did, and Dan Rattleball is the truth, and he is fun to watch.
Well, it was the tale of two quarterbacks in that game, and for the last 2 years in the Arena Bowl, it's been Arizona against Philadelphia, and the respective quarterbacks, Nick Davila, who's won both of them, against Dan Rattleball, and there's how they stack up for today's All-Star game. But speaking of Rattleball, he's an interesting story and somewhat typical of the way that these young players get to play in the AFL, and now with a chance to play in AFL China, perhaps, overseas in the new league that we'll be telling you about. One of our reporters that joins us today, his name's Randy Miller. He's been all around Hawaii this week with his interesting style of reporting, and we think you'll enjoy Miller Time.
Folks, here's a story about one of the stars of the AFL. Dan Rattleball, quarterback for the East. He had some real humble beginnings. Dan, he played college football at Miami High after Ben Roethlisberger, but afterwards he goes back to Texas, and he's working in a factory, and he's making $10 an hour. And he finds out that his supervisor is the assistant coach for the Dallas AFL team. He begs him and begs him and begs him for a tryout. They have 2 quarterbacks. They don't need them. Finally, one day, Dallas quarterbacks, 2 of them get hurt in one day. They're desperate. What are they going to do? What do they do? Give the kid a tryout. Next day, lunchtime, says, Dan, let's go outside. They go outside in the parking lot. Next thing you know, the coach is running patterns for Dan. And he's firing passes, and the coach is like, man, you almost ripped my hands off. You had such velocity. The guy gets a tryout the next day. He signed that week. By the end of the season, Dan is a starting quarterback. In his first game, throws 8 touchdown passes. He's been a star in the AFL ever since.
Randy Miller will be reporting throughout the game for us, along with Ricky Waters, Russ Francis, I'm Lou Tilley, and the 5th member of our group, Courtney Bailey, will join us live when we come back for kickoff from Honolulu. Stay with us. It's All-Star Football right here on ESPN3.
My name is Lou Tilley. I'll be bringing you the play-by-play action.
He may go all the way. Touchdown.
Sure showed it there in the 6th inning. Here we go, guys. Back up to you. 40% of their entire population was lost. Gone. Just like that. Hi, I'm Lou Tilley, and I mean it when I say Lou Tilley Media can tell your story. Whether it's in Philadelphia, anywhere in the United States, or halfway around the world at the Great Wall of China, I'll get it done.
The Maxwell Football Club, honoring a great college football player, but now honoring American football stars on all levels. Founded 76 years ago.
And only the Maxwell Football Club, the MFC, covers it all, every year.
Now you can join the Maxwell Football Club and vote on next year's stars and join this celebration of football at maxwellfootballclub.org. The Maxwell Football Club, the first fraternity of football.
Back to Honolulu. Lou Tilley, Ricky Waters, and Russ Francis ready to go. But first now, the 5th member of our broadcast crew, Courtney Bailey, standing by with Dan the Man. Courtney?
Hey guys, well, I'm here with Dan, and it is such an exciting time right now. We're just moments away from the All-Star kickoff. What have you discussed with your team to make this a great game?
You know, we had a good 2 days of practice. We got some of the greatest players in the league, some of the greatest coaches, and in Hawaii with some of the greatest fans. We just got to play catch, have fun, score some points, and, you know, it's good to bring the great game arena football back to the people of Hawaii. So.
Great, and what is your game day strategy for a game like this in Hawaii?
Hey, man, go out here, have a good one, jump in the ocean afterwards, and get to hang out with the wonderful people and the culture in Hawaii. But I wish everyone luck, and we're happy to be here, and thanks.
Okay, here we go. We have luck and good times coming your way. Back to you, Lou.
Courtney, you better get off the field. They're ready to go. We're ready for the kickoff here in Hawaii. Courtney Bailey will be joining us throughout the game. Dan the Man, who's put up some amazing numbers in his first 3 seasons as a starter under Clint Dozel. The West will be kicking it away to the East, and the East will moving left to right as we watch it from the south sidelines of the Blaisdell Center here in Honolulu. This was the home to an AFL-2 division team about 10 years ago. Russ Francis knows all about that. He's a native Hawaiian. He's with me here in the booth. He knows all about this great island state of ours, along with Ricky Waters, who joins us in the booth. And we're underway with Arena All-Star Football, and we play it live off the nets in Arena Ball. And that is real good field position for the start in Arena Ball. That's at midfield. Much shorter field than you are used to, Ricky, on the outdoor grass of the NFL.
Definitely. That's the first thing you see, and you notice is that it's a shorter field, but that makes for a high-scoring game and a lot of fun.
Russ, they score on average 80% of the time in arena football.
It's so fast. It's just incredible. Get the ball up, move it downfield. You'll see a lot of these plays coming up the middle, but watch out for the ones on the side because they take them just like hockey does, right up against those boards. It's fascinating to watch the hit, the power, and the speed of this game.
No out of bounds, as they say, as we take it inside. It's Arena Ball here in Hawaii, and next week this same crew will be heading over to Beijing for the first ever American-style professional football game in the history of China. Dan Rattlers, who is the normal coach, or rather starting quarterback for the Philadelphia Soul, is under center for the East and comes out throwing, and that one is in the 3rd row.
Yeah, that was good defense right there. They have this covered.
Here's how the East will start it out. Excuse me, Ricky. Rattlers is your quarterback, of course, and really the 2 quarterbacks that we'll see in the game are kind of 1 and 2 in the AFL, and they have met in the Arena Bowl, the championship game of the AFL, for the last couple of seasons, with Arizona finishing on top of Philadelphia in back-to-back seasons. 2nd down and 10, you have 8 men on each side in the indoor game, an Arena Bowl, and that man is in motion and always a dangerous receiver and tough to defend. And Rattlers looks that way, looks to the end zone, and a little long. Rick has been concentrating on the East. You like this guy, 15.
Yes, I really like him. Appreciate Rodriguez. He has great size, quickness, And right there, you like to see him get his head around a little quicker and get to that ball. But it was a little far for him. You know Dan has to warm up and get his arm going. But we're going to see some fireworks here in a minute, I believe.
You know, you also got to watch this West defense. Number 24, Ofa Balikola. He's a national team rugby player from Tonga.
And he is a huge man. Rattlers fires on the rope and has a first down.
First down. Great play, Dominique Goodman on the catch.
If there's going to be any hope for the West to stop Dan Rattlers, the quick release that he has and as tall as he is, they've got to start getting in his face and putting pressure on him. Just about got to handle that ball, but just not good enough. Good move for the East offense.
Clint Dozell is Dan's regular season coach. You see him in the red there, along the boards at about the 20-yard line. The coaches, one from each team, are allowed on the playing field during play, and we're playing AFL rules. As Rattlers looks to the end zone and has a touchdown.
What I tell you, appreciate.
Appreciate Rodriguez scores the first touchdown of our All-Star game, and he's a big target, Rick, at 6'4", 215.
Definitely. And I also think that what fans are going to see is that they're allowed to move before the ball and get a nice running start as wide receivers get down the field. It's pretty tough to stop a guy when he's coming full speed at you like that.
Now, I'm not favoring one side or the other, but I saw a little pick right there. When you get down here by the goal line, watch for that.
You know, we used to do that too.
Kimu Neo is one of the about a half dozen players from Hawaii who are on display here as well. He's the kicker here, and he knocks it through. The extra point is good after a fumbled snap, but the East on the scoreboard first.
Good job.
There's a little bit of a discussion here going on before the kickoff back here as they start to get ready to come back out on the field, but one thing that you're talking about the coaches are right now to the defense on the West is you've got to put pressure on the quarterback and don't give so much room to the receivers for the East. Rodriguez there wasn't anybody with him coming off the line of scrimmage. They're going to have to bump him at the line, make him work for every catch he gets.
That's what I think. It was too easy to release, and then he was able to position himself almost like you would as a power forward. And like you used to do, they'll rush and get that ball. It makes it hard for the defensive back to get around you.
Well, it made it easier, and this isn't a love fest going on here, but it made it a whole lot easier when you're coming out of the backfield. They knew that if they gave you just enough room, they had to get off of me to cover you because you were gone.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Yeah, it's a true story.
So the East scores first, 11:30 to go. We have a running clock in Arena Bowl, and you play it off the netting unless it goes through the goalpost. That's a catch netting back there, and that is out of play. That is a touchback. The West will take the field for the first time. And it's a lot like tennis, guys. A lot of times when I'm calling a regular season game for the Philadelphia Soul, I'll say, if the defense gets a stop, it's like a break of serve. It's just kind of rare when the defense gets a flat-out stop and turns the ball over, and often the game turns on that. So the East has scored. Now the West is trying to hold serve on their end.
Definitely. And I tell you what, as fans, do not go to the bathroom. You might miss a score.
Yeah, it happens that fast.
It happens that fast.
The West All-Stars are led tonight. Carson Kaufman will get the start at quarterback. Davila, the MVP of the league, a little bit late getting here. So Kaufman under center and comes out firing. He's had the advantage of a couple of days of work with his All-Star teammates. But his first throw goes incomplete.
It was a nice throw. Receivers got to catch that ball. Carson's father, Paul Kaufman, was a tight end for the Green Bay Packers. Got to know him fairly well, and he was one of the best tight ends during his era. And young Carson is maturing as a quarterback, and see if he can get the ball in the air and put pressure on the East defense. This is not a good place for the offense to be on your own 5-yard line.
No.
His first throw goes incomplete, intended for Jesse Smith, and he is what they call the high motion man. And this ball is batted right back at Kaufman and his own end zone.
Was that Neo Spikes?
Good name for it.
Yeah.
Neo Spikes, one of the Hawaii players.
Yeah. Spiked that right back in his face.
Well, of course, it's easy to talk about it after the play, but Marco Thomas, number 3, was by himself downfield. All Carson had to do is get that ball up, and because it was a straight route, just a fly route down the field, that would have gone over the defensive line.
Starting line in front of Carson Kaufman. Eddie Ramos is at center, pressed into action for this game. Gets the snap back cleanly, and Kaufman gets the pass off cleanly for a first down up around the 20-yard line.
Number 3 to Marco Thomas, the guy that just should have had a touchdown down the field. That offensive line is doing a good job of giving Carson some time, too. We'll talk about the line when we come back up here for the next play.
And he had a free release.
Kaufman comfortable with throwing it to Thomas. They played together this year with the Chicago franchise. Marco Thomas, 6 foot, 190 pounds. Motion man, Kaufman looking long towards the end zone.
That looks like trouble.
Touchdown, West.
That looked like trouble.
I'll tell you what, too, when you watch Kevin Guy, he's jumping up and down just as much as those players are. He's the head coach of the Arizona Rattlers, the AFL championship team the last 2 years, and as a player 15 years ago, well, not 15 years ago, it was Arena Bowl 15. He was a player for the Orlando Predators when they won the championship game.
Mario Urrutia, who we thought might do some damage today, picks up the first touchdown. He's 6'5", 230 pounds, out of Louisville, and the Rookie of the Year this past season in the AFL. The extra point placement up, and that's not a gimme in the AFL. Only 9 yards for the extra point to be accomplished and successful this time. It looks like we're going to go to a break. We're all tied at 7, and we're about halfway into the first quarter of play here in Honolulu, Hawaii. It's the Arena All-Stars going head-to-head before they head to Beijing, China next week. My name is Lou Tilley. I'll be bringing you the play-by-play action. He may go all the way. Touchdown! Sure showed it there in the 6th inning. Here we go, guys. Back up to you.
40% of their entire population was lost. Gone. Just like that. Hi, I'm Lou Tilley, and I mean it when I say Lou Tilley Media can tell your story. Whether it's in Philadelphia, anywhere in the United States, or halfway around the world at the Great Wall of China, I'll get it done.
The Maxwell Football Club, honoring a great college football player, but now honoring American football stars on all levels. Founded 76 years ago.
And only the Maxwell Football Club, the MFC, covers it all every year.
Now you can join the Maxwell Football Club and vote on next year's stars and join this celebration of football at maxwellfootballclub.org. The Maxwell Football Club, the first fraternity of football.
Obviously, I was excited when I got the call about coming to do this project. I mean, it was, I love arena football. I've been involved with it since I was 23 years old. And to be able to come over here and put a game on here in Hawaii, Hawaii is kind of, one, it's been a first-class operation from the time we got here. I really enjoyed it. It's obviously we have a lot of fun working with the players. But Hawaii is the place that the whole world kind of connects,
And welcome back from Honolulu, and that's Coach Kevin Guy of the champion Arizona Rattlers. The kickoff. We're tied at 7, and the East will start from tremendous field position again at midfield and on the plus side of our arena here at Blaisdell Center in Honolulu. Lou Tilley along with Ricky Waters and Russ Francis, the native Hawaiian. Hey, Ricky, that's a fun way to play football, isn't it? Inside the red zone just about every time you take over the ball.
We didn't get a chance to see all of it, but Larico Stevenson, number 23 linebacker, brought that ball back, and he played as if this was a championship game. He breaks it all the way out to the 23-yard line.
Larico plays hard, normally a defensive back with the Philadelphia Soul, but at 210 pounds playing a little linebacker. Rattleball of the Soul to the air, and Dan has a little rhythm going right now.
Yes, indeed, and that's a nice catch by Larry Beavers, and he's a speedster from New Orleans. He actually played with the New Orleans Saints.
Larry Beavers, 5'11", about 180 pounds. He has an all-time record in any division in the NCAA play. Played Division III at Wesley College in Dover, where he returned 10 kicks in his career for touchdowns. And that's an all-time NCAA record. And he lines up at the bottom of your screen at the far right. And there's the motion man. It's a little pitch to the big fullback, Brian Robinson. All 290 pounds is ridden out of bounds at about the 11-yard line.
You know, it's kind of nice to see the running back get the ball every now and then.
Yeah.
You know?
Brian Robinson, normally a defensive end with a soul, and nearly one of the contenders for the Defensive Player of the Year, but steps into the game as a fullback tonight. And that's typical of the AFL, guys. You have to double up.
Yeah, definitely. You see that, and even linebackers will be playing fullback, and fullbacks will play linebacker. And it's kind of cool to watch. It's kind of a throwback, you know, kind of like when I played high school.
Yeah, going both ways, right? Yeah, at Harrisburg in Pennsylvania. Rick Waters then goes on to a national championship under Lou Holtz at Notre Dame, and then the great career in the NFL as Rattleball throws to the end zone and has another touchdown. Two possessions, 2 touchdowns.
Oh! I'll tell you, the guys who are shaking their head are number 20, Cameron McGlenn, number 11, are Keith Brown, and number 2, Carlton Brown. They just have to get better at the coverage. They're giving way too much room and way too much time in the backfield.
And talk about versatile. The man on the receiving end is Joe Gooseby, who is an all-AFL linebacker for the Philadelphia Soul, who has played some defensive back this year and now plays some wide receiver. So on the field to kick, Kimo Neu again of Hawaii. 1 for 1 on conversions. And this time pulls it a little left, no good, and that's often critical in the indoor game as well. The East leads the West 13-7. Clock stops for a moment at 5:04. Here's a look at the touchdown, Rick.
Nice move. He pivots. Catches the ball. Very nice catch. Very good concentration.
Good hands for a linebacker.
Yeah. Great concentration.
Someone needs to smack him in the mouth, though, when he comes off the line of scrimmage like that. I mean, isn't anybody going to hit this guy?
This is all-star football, you know.
I know that, but I mean, you know, you don't want to be embarrassed either, right?
No, you don't.
Now, let me ask you, if a guy was coming at you like that and he's right by the end zone and he's coming with his hands up like he did, and pushing up against you and everything else, would you hit him?
Very, very, very hard.
I didn't think you'd let him go.
Very hard.
I mean, that's the one thing, you know, these guys have gotten to know each other, and they have played against each other throughout the AFL season in the U.S., and they are going on next week to Beijing, China. But
yes,
once that ball is snapped, it's back to business as usual, and that means hitting somebody.
And that means hitting somebody.
You know, it's fun, Ricky.
That means giving it 120%.
You know, it's fun watching you play, Ricky, and we'll get back to the game here in just a second, is that you come through the line of scrimmage and you aim at people. It wasn't like you're running away from people. You knew they're coming to get you, so, well, let me deliver one on you on this case, and then we'll just take it from there. You'd run over them, through them. It was great to watch.
Oh, thank you. And yes, that was the way to play, because you know what? They're going to give it to you, and the times I would have to block them, that's when they would give it back to me.
Absolutely. Well, it's going to be the East kicking off to the West here, and the West better get their stuff in gear, or they're going to see themselves, as quick as the East is scoring, behind fast.
Very quickly.
So the extra point missed by Kimo Neu. He'll kick it away. To the West, we're on serve. Another wild, high-scoring, arena-style football game. This one off the nets to the right side, cleanly fielded. And a loose ball.
Fumble. Oh, they got it back.
But the West is able to hold on and maintain possession. Almost our first turnover of this all-star game. Let's look at it again.
Or the West.
Wow.
I'll tell you, one thing you don't want to do, the mental errors like that will kill you. Turn the ball back in this place on the field.
Yeah, that was heads-up play right there to get that ball back. or they would really be in trouble, like you said, the way the East is scoring.
Carson Kaufman at quarterback sends all three receivers out to the right, the wide side of the field with the ball on the far left hash. In motion is Marco Thomas as Kaufman looks deep his way to the end zone and just barely broken up at the last second. Terrence Smith back there on defense.
Yeah, that was a great play by him, though, because that looked like a touchdown right there.
That's one of those things, as you look at the receiver and the quarterback working together, that ball's got to be thrown just a little bit easier. Easier to say when you're up here, but Carson's going to have to get rid of that ball when he's open right in the middle.
Got to get it up. Got to get rid of that ball a lot quicker, too.
Yeah.
Rayshon Kaiser was the defensive back who came in at the last second. He's an all-star with, yes, the Philadelphia Soul. Soul and Arizona, the top two teams the last couple of years in AFL football. And this one is picked off 4-6 by Rayshon Kaiser, who we were just talking about. Check that. A touchdown for the East on the turnover scored.
Oh, let's see what they're going to do. Let's see what they're going to do. You got to have the showmanship.
Well, I'll tell you what.
That's part of it too, baby.
Unbelievable. I'll tell you what. Carson won the hula contest, but he's fallen way behind as a quarterback.
Yes, he is.
So the East moves out by a couple of scores. The extra point coming up here. Imo Neyu lines up for the conversion, 1 for 2. Pointed off the left side this time, but this time it's good. The East moves out by a score of 20-7. We'll take a break and be right back from Honolulu. My name is Lou Tilley. I'll be bringing you the play-by-play action. He may go all the way. Touchdown!
Sure showed it there in the 6th inning. Here we go, guys. Back up to you. 40% of their entire population was lost. Gone. Just like that. Hi, I'm Lou Tilley, and I mean it when I say Lou Tilley Media can tell your story. Whether it's in Philadelphia, anywhere in the United States, or halfway around the world at the Great Wall of China, I'll get it done.
The Maxwell Football Club, honoring a great college football player, but now honoring American football stars on all levels. Founded 76 years ago.
And only the Maxwell Football Club, the MFC, covers it all, every year.
Now you can join the Maxwell Football Club and vote on next year's stars and join this celebration of football at maxwellfootballclub.org. The Maxwell Football Club, the first fraternity of football.
Deep down inside, I always loved the game of football. But as you watch the growth of the game, not only at the Arena Football League level, the National Football League level, the collegiate level, the high school level, the Little League level, you see a tremendous growth in the game. And we just felt with the worldwide popularity of the game, it's time to look at other opportunities to take the game to India. You know, Mike Ditka and I formed a group. We were playing football in India, the Elite Football League of India. China presented another great opportunity, and we're taking the game to Beijing on November 10th. So a lot of good things are happening with the growth of the game because it's such a popular game.
Back from Honolulu, and Ron Jaworski will join us at the half. Ron, an investor in a company called AFL China. To learn more about it, go to AFL-China.com. This is the ownership group, and Ron is a part of it, that is taking professional arena football into China. And we'll play the first ever football game there in history next Sunday. Be telling you about. There's one of the wild ones off the netting, but a good job by Schmidt to come back and haul it in and keep it out of harm's way. And the West, already down a pair of scores, needs to hold on to that ball now, Rick.
Definitely, and I think they want to get that ball to Urrutia because that big guy can get down the field and make some plays.
Urrutia has the only
rookie of the year for a reason.
Urrutia, number 5, has the only touchdown of the game from Carson Kaufman, who is starting the game today. Nick Davila is here. league MVP, two-time Arena Bowl champion with Arizona, but got here a little bit late, had some travel problems, and didn't get a lot of practice in. So even his own head coach is giving Carson Kaufman the start here, and fires this one complete on the near sidelines to
and right on time.
Uarita, yeah, that Mario Uarita that Ricky was just talking about.
You know, I like the way you get that crystal ball out, Ricky. You start calling out the receivers before. Here comes Mario. He picks it up along the boards. When you're hit and pushed into the boards here in the All-Star game, that's when the play ends.
Mario Uarita on the completion, his third, moves it down to the 20. Carson Kaufman calling the signals, and there's the defense for the East. Brian Robinson, who you saw carry the ball, number 12 at fullback, is now at that right side defensive end, where he's done a lot of damage for the Philadelphia Soul. And looking back into the eyes of Carson Kaufman. Has a man on the slant, and it's knocked away.
Nice play. Nice play.
You know, I got to give some credit to a guy who's just come into this game from Hawaii, number 99. Look at the center, Andy Ramos. He played in the Arena Football League for a number of years. Step back up today. He gives excellent protection. You got to hang on to those balls, Mario. You just can't. You got to go after the ball. That belongs to you.
Russ, you never dropped any, did you?
Not like that.
No.
I get that ball that close to me, it's mine.
I think he got a hand in there, though. But you probably would have snatched the hand.
I would have broken his wrist.
Everything.
I'd have broken everything.
I know that's
Kaufman to the end zone has the touchdown, nevertheless, on 2nd and 10. Jesse Schmidt has it from the Iowa Barnstormers, where he's piled up a ton of touchdowns in 3 terrific seasons with the Barnstormers, who have perhaps football's greatest looking helmets.
Well, and we have one of their fans here. He's got his shoulder pads on, he's got his jersey on, he's got the helmet on. All the way from Iowa.
Is that
just
right?
For Jesse, yes.
Well, it's not a bad trip to make, you know.
No, it's not. Yeah, especially this time of year.
Better believe that. It was so beautiful out here.
The clock expires on the first quarter, but we'll complete the conversion before we take a break and switch sides. The West on the scoreboard for the second time. The conversion up and good this time by Kenton Shunt of Honolulu. So we finished the first quarter of play. In the first ever Honolulu All-Star Arena football game, the East leads the West by 20-13. We'll be back right after this with more from Honolulu.
All right, here we go. Hey, let's go make some noise.
This is the scene, and some of the cheerleaders and dance troops that are here to put on a good show here at the first ever All-Star game. And speaking of the project we were telling you about, let's go down to Courtney Bailey now, who's standing by with the president of AFL China.
And joining me now is David Nui, the president of AFL China. And David, this week is Hawaii, next week is China. Tell me what your grand plans are for the future of the game in China.
Yeah, we got some big plans. We want to start a professional league in October of 2014. And on our way to getting to that goal, we are presenting some exhibition games. First one here in Hawaii to prepare, but a big one next week on November the 10th in Beijing to present arena football, professional arena football, American football in Beijing, China.
Such exciting times. Now, you were a pro rugby player in Australia and all through Europe. Tell me, what is the challenges and the excitement of the game for players today?
You know what, it's very similar, and it's very exciting to be part of it. You know, the intimacy of the fans close to the action here is a lot like rugby. A lot of these guys, the fans feel a connection to, same as in rugby. Obviously, it's a lot of pads and the helmets, but the game itself's exciting, fast-paced, lots of action.
Okay, well, fast-paced times. Lou, back to you.
Thanks, Courtney. We'll be back with more from Honolulu right after this.
And welcome back. You're watching the Arena All-Star Football Game from Honolulu, brought to you by AFL China. David New, president, Marty Judge, founder, taking Arena League football into China for the first time ever next weekend in Beijing at the Capitol Arena with a crowd of about 15,000 people expected to turn out. I'm Lou Tilley along with Rick Waters and Russ Francis in Honolulu, and the East leads the West 20-14 in our All-Star Game after 15 minutes. Rick, what do you think so far?
Oh, it's a lot of fun. You know, up and down action. Carson came back like a champion that time. And I think we're in for a barn burner. You know, just what I thought. A lot of scoring.
Russ, the East gets the ball. They have scored a touchdown every time they touch it so far.
Well, I think that the West is thinking more about the surfing that they were doing a couple of days ago. The East is focusing on football. The West had better get in gear here. It's going to be a long day.
Larico Stevenson returns for the East, defensive back with the Philadelphia Soul. A real tough, physical player in this indoor game, and it's really about defensive back and wide receivers, guys. Ricky, you were a wide receiver. I was surprised to learn coming out of high school when you first went to Notre Dame.
Yes, sir. Actually, I played wide receiver in high school, but I also played at Notre Dame. I played flanker. The year that we won the national championship, I played flanker that year. So I learned a lot of things. I learned from the great Tim Brown.
Wow.
Yeah, Tim Brown was there, won the Heisman Trophy when I was a freshman. Showed me a lot of how to run routes and things like that, and it helped me all through my career.
And Ricky Waters makes the transition to running back and becomes one of the all-time greats and a member of the NFL's elite 10,000-yard club in just 11 seasons. Dan Rotteball throws one out towards the right sideline and a little bit long.
Yeah, like I said, Dan, he's getting warmed up.
Now, Pre-Shea in the regular season, Rick, may have taken on that wall head on. But in an all-star game, he did something that I think they call alligator arms.
Yeah, well, he also did the, you know, they also tell you when you're a receiver, use two hands while you're learning.
Yeah.
And he's obviously still learning during an all-star game that you still go to catch the ball.
Pre-Shea Rodriguez has a touchdown. He was the AFL Rookie of the Year and played on a great Louisville team, along with another AFL great, Tiger Jones. The Louisville team that went to the 2007 Orange Bowl and defeated Wake Forest. Rotteball under pressure. First sack of the game. Marcus Pittman gets to Rotteball, runs him down from behind.
That's when you have to have that clock in your head. You know, you have to start to say, okay, 1,001, 1,002, 1,003. Somebody's probably coming. You know, and that's that ball.
Yeah, exactly. That's what the West defense has got to do. That was number 70, Marcus Pittman. He came in and he didn't get there right away, but he just kept being persistent. Dan's the type of guy that's going to take the time. He's trying to get it to the ball downfield to open it up for the West offense, but the defense for the West is putting pressure on the quarterback.
Rotteball has converted his only other third down try. This one making about 3rd down and 12 as he positions his wide receivers and gets Rodriguez to go in motion, but looks left, pump fakes, now comes back to Rodriguez and has a first down. Nicely done, wasn't it?
That really was. You see how he looked the guy off?
Yeah.
He looked the safety off. He goes that way, and then he comes across.
Oh, no catch.
No catch. No catch.
Oh, no catch.
Oh, man.
No bueno. He's moving the ball. Now that, I'll tell you what, that looks like a fumble to me.
Yeah,
it looked like he had control of that football, but of course we have the benefit of that camera angle that the official didn't have.
And so did the back judge on the play, who made the call. That's Craig Griffith. And he did drop it before he came to the ground. I don't know. It's that thing about did he make a football move before he dropped it? And if he did, that's a fumble.
Exactly.
So it brings up 4th and long, and Coach Clint Ozell will go for it. Rotteball looks, plenty of time. Fires long and knocked away.
Whoa. That may come back to haunt them. I don't know about that one.
Incomplete. It'll be a turnover on downs, and the West will take it over with a chance to even things up.
I think that's one of those situations you have a lot of, with Coach Ozell, he has a lot of faith in his quarterback.
Well, he sure had a lot of time, too. He's standing back there. You know, the West defense is just going to have to get on track. They're just doing that straight upfield rush. You know, they're going to have to come from different angles. You can't just go running into the blocker. this is the opportunity for the West to move up.
Carson Kaufman will start, 1st and goal. The ball, the nose just inside the 10-yard line. They turned the ball over once on an interception for a pick 6 for the East. Here's a chance to get even. Hoffman to the end zone and incomplete.
You have to say something was wrong there. 2 receivers in the same position. Right,
you got to pick a number. Pick a number. All the receivers in the same spot. Now, who's going to go first? Nobody knew where to go for the ball. I mean, that's just, and that's what happens in an all-star game where you don't have a lot of time on the field in practice to work together. These 2 receivers now are looking at each other going, okay, I was supposed to be on the other side of the field.
Yeah. One of them were wrong. They have to figure out which one was.
You know, I'll tell you what, I'm impressed with this coach, though. Kevin Guy from the Arizona Rattlers won the arena championship game. He's on the field. He's an intense guy. He wants to win this football game. This is not a walk in the park for him.
Kevin Guy's taken the Arizona Rattlers to 3 straight Arena Bowl championship appearances and won 2 of them. A little swing pass and into the flat and into the end zone. And the West will pull even.
I agree, Wes. You can tell, and that's why he's won those championships, because he is a competitor.
You know, they wanted to come up. Courtney wanted to do an interview with him. I saw, as we did early in the game, he had about 2 or 3 words for her, and then he's ready to get back on the field. He wanted to talk to his players about starting this football game. Now Jesse Smith, number 15, bowls his way, and he did bowl his way through 2 or 3 guys for the score for the West. Now we're even at 20.
Jesse's one of my favorite players in the AFL. 6'3", 230, great hands, good position receiver, and he really used the bulk there well, and I guess that was sort of almost like a toss sweep.
It sure was.
And it's good!
You know, earlier this week, the AFL All-Stars here in Honolulu had a chance to visit with the young people at McKinley High School. Our cameras went along for the trip. Hey, it was Halloween Eve. What a fun time this was for the coaches and the players who were able to officiate at this Halloween costume party and watch some of the dancers. We had fun, and we'll be right back. My name is Lou Tilley. I'll be bringing you the play-by-play act. He may go all the way. Touchdown! Sure showed it there in the 6th inning. Here we go, guys. Back up to you.
40% of their entire population was lost. Gone. Just like that. Hi, I'm Lou Tilley, and I mean it when I say Lou Tilley Media can tell your story. Whether it's in Philadelphia, anywhere in the United States, or halfway around the world at the Great Wall of China, I'll get it done.
The Maxwell Football Club, honoring a great college football player, but now honoring American football stars on all levels. Founded 76 years ago.
And only the Maxwell Football Club, the MFC, covers it all, every year.
Now you can join the Maxwell Football Club and vote on next year's stars and join this celebration of football at maxwellfootballclub.org. The Maxwell Football Club, the first fraternity of football.
I'm sure Dan said the same thing. It's once in a lifetime, type deal. And, having been in the Arena League for a long time, I actually got to do a few things as far as going overseas. We played in Spain and Paris. So, arena football has taken me a lot of places. And now I'm here in Hawaii and going to get to go to China next week. I got a jealous family at home that's pretty excited about the opportunity for us in the future as far as China. Great experience, great opportunity for all of us.
Clint Dozzell, the coach of the East and coach of the Philadelphia Soul. I like this guy a lot. I've got to know him well in the last couple of years. Takes the Soul to the championship game this year, and if you know that name, you should. One of the all-time great quarterbacks as a player for a long time in this AFL, and this past year was inducted into the Arena Football League Hall of Fame. Slow-talking guy whose words mean a lot out of Texas. Big, tall guy, really close with his quarterback, Dan Rattlers, and has brought him a long way and brought a lot of fun to football fans in Philadelphia, where he is very popular. And speaking of which, there's Larico Stevenson of the Soul bringing the ball out and gets up to about the 10-yard line, where Dan Rattlers and his East offense will start out.
And now the West has taken the lead at 21-20 after the East had a 2-score advantage at one point. Lou Tilley along with Rick Waters. And Mr. Hawaii, any truth to the rumor that Magnum P.I. was really the Russ Francis life story? Russ, what do you think?
No, that wasn't a truth at all. As a matter of fact, I was working, he was playing. There's something wrong with that picture.
Oh, by the way, we've
same mustache.
We've got the official lei here now, Russ. What's the tradition all about?
Well, the aloha spirit, they call it, is welcoming people, with the fragrance of Hawaii, the leis, the colors of Hawaii, and it's something that's been part of our culture for decades and decades. But I do have to say, too, I've got the hat thing going here with the 49er, since Ricky, in honor of Ricky being here, the farewell season to Candlestick Park. We were back there for the 49er Alumni Weekend the other day, so I'm wearing my hat as well, along with the lei. We're looking a little like San Francisco, a little bit like Hawaii.
Well, I like that, and there is some connection here. Of course, Hawaii is the jumping-off point for all the great athletes throughout the Pacific Rim now. Of course, starting to come into America. We see it more and more. Moji Tutupo, the first one, maybe they got attention. And now we're going the other way with football, heading to China and then maybe Japan and Korea. We'll be talking about that. Let's talk about it right now. Next week, we go to Beijing. Ricky, you and I will be making that trip. Your wife is a native of China, so I know it's special for you.
Yes, she is. Her family is from Shanghai. We've gone back there, and I tell you what, we had a great time there. I didn't know how they would take me. Here I am coming back there with one of their gals and everything. I said, man, they might look at me and say, man, you're not getting anything here.
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
But, I hear what you said.
But no, it was great. It was awesome. It was a great experience, and I'm very excited about going back.
Well, they look at me a little funny over there, too,
They look at you and they laugh, but you know what? It's a good thing.
Yeah. Well, they're fascinated by us. It hasn't been that long since China opened up the doors to commerce in the modern era and to the West. I remember it's sort of like when I was a part of the Wake Forest team that started college football in Japan in the late 70s. I think that's where China is right now. Russ, you have any thoughts?
Well, the historic connection with Hawaii and China goes back decades. We have huge Chinese population here in Hawaii, and that connection to mainland China and Taiwan and Hong Kong back in the day. So a lot of that culture is here. It's a great stepping off point for Hawaii to go to China. I think you're going to see a lot of Hawaii players participating in that league.
Yeah, we look forward to that. And I know, Russ, we had a tryout camp here in Hawaii a few months ago for this game. And there's some Hawaiian players playing as a result of that. And maybe we can even take it a step further with this new league we're about to start in China.
Well, when you have players like Brendan Carvalho, who played with the Green Bay Packers, now with the AFL Philadelphia Soul, going to China, he has the opportunity to play in China, AFL China, AFL US, back to the NFL or the Canadian Football League. This is a great opportunity for these players.
Well, the seasons will be staggered, Russ. So conceivably, a player who plays in the USA AFL League, which ends usually around August, could then go over to China and play a second season in the offseason, so to speak, and theoretically double his income.
If you're a glutton for punishment, that'd be a great...
Yeah, you got to like football.
Yeah, boy.
And you got to be in shape, too. I know that.
Well, you do.
But these guys are in great shape. Watching them this week.
Dan Rattlers, number 5 out there, the quarterback right now, has had a lot of fun here in Hawaii this week. We couldn't get him out of the water. He's like one of your kids, Ricky, in fact. We're going to see Ricky Waters Jr. perform at halftime here today. He's a 12-year-old with a ton of talent, and it's not running the football. Wait till you see him play his instrument. As Rattlers on third down looks to the end zone and fires wide. No one was going to get that one.
That was good defense, though.
It was good defense, but I'll tell you one thing. Even though the West, kind of leaning that way because of the Hawaii players, the defender, you cannot grab the receiver's hand and pull it away from the football before the football gets there. Just, I'm as a receiver, I can't wait with it. Yeah, listen, and he just did.
Running clock in the AFL and arena football until the final minute of each half. So now Rattlers and his East team face a 4th down. Call it about long 2.
Goosby's the motion man. He throws to Goosby, and he's
Great
right
catch.
on the line.
Now, see, that's what I like to see.
Baby, go ahead.
Going for the ball, laying out, making a play. That's a great play by Goosby.
And that's the linebacker. I haven't seen him ever line up as a wide receiver except in the warm-up drills before, and look at the job he does on that one.
You know, he was out warming up in practice on Thursday when they practiced at Aloha Stadium, and he was catching the ball with one hand, and I thought he was a receiver.
Wow.
And then I found out, no, that's a linebacker. So maybe because of that showing in the last day or two of practice, they said, well, let's give him the football.
Well, he's an all-arena linebacker, but he has 8 interceptions in the last 2 seasons, 3 of them for touchdowns. Out of Tulane, Joe Goosby. Brought a ball to the end zone, and this one just a little high. But for the first time tonight, we see a penalty flag fly down in that end zone.
They finally caught him holding.
They called him holding. Don't hold. I'll tell you what, there was heat on that football. Watch when Dan, we don't get a chance to see Dan throw the ball, but you see a little bit of hand holding there.
That's a 5-yard penalty for illegal defense. Automatic first down.
The referee's right there looking at that.
5-yard penalty would be assessed, even though it was in the end zone, but it will be an automatic first down and goal for the East. 21-20, the West in the dark blue jerseys lead the East in the white with the red, white, and blue stylings from the founder of this league, Marty Judge, who you'll be meeting coming up at the half. And if you've never heard Marty before, one of the owners of Philadelphia Soul, very successful businessman out of Philadelphia, and a very inspiring guy. A little bit Ted Turner, a little bit Jerry Jones. He's a big winner, I know that.
Lou Holtz.
A little bit of Lou Holtz.
He's got that real fire thing. He just talks to him about it. He
I know everything about him, son.
He doesn't throw him words yet, though.
Yeah.
Ah, just kidding, Lou. Touchdown, Goosby!
Best players I've ever been around or associated with.
Dan Rotteball and Joe Goosby are teammates, and they're having a ball.
Now, you said something earlier about the relationship between Zozelle, the coach, and the player Dan Rotteball.
Right.
They just met at the sideline, talked just before that play. They were talking about, and I'm sure that Clint was saying, just throw it, don't drill it, just let it loop right on over the defender. Great combination between the coach and the quarterback in that case.
And that was a beautiful throw, yes. And that's why it's good to have a good mentor.
That's right.
He couldn't have a better one, over 44,000 passing yards.
Clint saw that, passed it on to Dan. Dan executed.
Kimo Neu with the conversion, and so the East pulls in front again. Here's the play, Ruff.
Ricky, you call this.
Oh, he just beat him clean on the line of scrimmage. Nice throw. Make it easy for him. That was great.
You know, we've been talking about all the fun. You come to Hawaii, you gotta get wet. Although I should have figured that out when I showed up for the outrigger races and I was wearing shorts and they were white. Thank goodness I had underwear on. But here's how the guys enjoyed the week down on Waikiki Beach.
All right, everybody. Let me introduce you to the marketing manager of the Honolulu.
I don't think we could have picked a better destination. It's a great place for us. The guys are loving it. The experience is great. Can't wait for the game this weekend. I feel pretty damn good. I'm mesmerized by just the view. You know, I haven't even thought about getting in yet. I'm still trying to take it in. We're East going to take everything, the game, the challenge.
So we all row on the same side?
Y'all follow me. We're going to take it home. We're going to win. I'm going to sit down on this bad boy. Let's go out that way. Glad I did it. I wasn't going to do it first. Surfing's definitely harder than it looks, but it's a lot of fun out here in Honolulu, Hawaii on Waikiki Beach. Paradise. This is going to be funny right here. No pictures. Mario, let's go. You don't get this in Iowa, that's for sure. Okay, come watch the game Saturday. Come watch the game Saturday.
I'll tell you, it's just been a lot of fun. Russ, I mean, that's part of being in Hawaii, man. You get in the water and you play.
You know, you see the big smiles on their faces, and that's the folks like myself who grew up here. That's what we love to see. People come to Hawaii, get out in the water, get that feeling, the mana in the water and in the air, and watch Diamond Head in the background. Guys in the canoes catching waves.
That is amazing. I didn't know that the outrigger canoes caught the wave. I'm out there paddling. They go, paddle fast, paddle fast, paddle fast. All of a sudden, I'm 10 feet up in the air. The nose is up. I'm like, what the heck? I thought I screwed up.
That's how they got here from Tahiti.
That's how they got here from Tahiti. Beautiful.
It's amazing.
It is fun, and it's. I'll be back. Let me put it that way. The East kicking it away, and off the rebound. That's a tough one to handle. It's a live ball. And the West does come up with it. By the way, guys, my apologies. There were some number switches here on the rosters at the last minute, and I think some of those great catches that I've been giving to Joe Gooseby, the linebacker of the Soul, should be credited to Dominic Goodman, the wide receiver out of Cincinnati, who played with Carson Kaufman, ironically, in college at the University of Cincinnati. He's had 3 sensational years catching the ball for Cleveland, with consecutive seasons of 120 catches, 170 catches, and then 147 catches 3 years in a row. Dominic Goodman with the Cleveland Gladiators.
Wow, impressive.
I'll tell you what, this reminds me right here, Ricky. Joe Montana, we're on our own 1 or 2 yard line. It's 1:30 to go in the game, and he's smiling, and we need a touchdown.
And this happens right there. Oh, I thought.
Gotta have that. Joe looks at everybody and says, isn't this fun, guys? We have a whole minute and a half to go 95 yards to score.
I've never seen it.
And that
like,
should have been a score.
Yeah, that was Mario Urotia again, who I think that ball was there.
Very catchable.
Yeah.
You don't even have to dive for that one. That's the one-handed stuff that, I'll tell you what, drives coaches nuts. And people like me, if that was my teammate, I'd be grabbing him by the face mask right now. Jerry Rice, are you listening?
World, that's my man, World.
Carson Kaufman backed up to his own. Now, we're inside 1 minute and a half, and now we revert to the timing rules that we're familiar with in the NFL, in college ball, in high school ball. The clock will stop on an incompletion, on an out-of-bounds play. And so the last minute of arena ball, you can pack 2 or 3 scores in because of the short field. So back to the score. East on top 27-21. Carson Kaufman with the ball, but only has about 49 yards to go and plenty of time with 59 seconds here in the first half.
Yes, plenty.
Fires. Oh, no, there's a find behind the back. One-handed catch by Jesse Schmidt.
I'll tell you what, Jesse Schmidt, 4-year veteran with the Iowa Barnstormers, 6,800 yards receiving, 164 total touchdowns. He is a guy that you can count on. Watch him in practice. He caught every single ball. There was not a bobble. He's a guy to be given the football to go in and score and pull ahead.
Yes, indeed, because that was an impressive catch.
Kaufman breaks the huddle. Still a lot of time left. Has them up on the plus side of the field at about the 20-21 yard line. Puts a man in motion and goes that way. A little post-up pattern is complete to the 15. That's Marco Thomas on the reception.
And I think we're seeing what you were saying, Lou. He has plenty of time. We still have 50 seconds on the clock.
Well, that should be nice in the NFL, wouldn't it, if you had all that extra time with a 2-minute drill, the stop clock every time you want. Someone who wouldn't have to fake an injury.
Exactly. They don't do that, do they?
Oh, no, of course not. Of course not.
You see a guy walking, all of a sudden somebody tells him something, he drops down like, oh.
Yeah, they go down like they're shot, too.
Yeah.
You know, those guys
it's
are
like,
dramatic.
Don't be that obvious.
Timeout was called this time by the East Coast. And here comes the strategy of the AFL. Clint Ozell is a master of clock management. He called the timeout. Lou Tilley, Rick Waters, and Russ Francis, the guy in the hat, with 50 seconds to go. Clint calls timeout because he wants to get the ball back and go the other way.
And he'll have plenty of time. It's just a great game.
Schmidt will be the man in motion.
In China, I think that's what they like to see. They love basketball. They love fast moving. See?
Now, wait a second.
That's some gamesmanship right
now,
there.
Now, wait a second. Wouldn't you go for a few extra yards?
No, he doesn't want to get too close. With the short end zones here as well, they have a better shot to score
I think. Listen, I went through this for 3 years before I began to understand some of the strategy here. It looks odd. I know that.
Okay. I'm just,
they don't want to score too quickly.
I see the end zone. I see the line, and I start to twitch.
The nostrils flare.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Still, after all these years.
I say the same thing. Remember when Westbrook did that?
Yeah.
I said, I don't know. I might have went in there and scored.
Well, that might have been $15,000 bonus for you, too, right?
Yeah. I'm sure they told him that, though.
No, they did.
That was an intelligent
Brian's a friend. He went to play college ball at Villanova, not far from where I live. Russ?
Yeah. I was just looking at Coach Kevin Guy. I'd love to have Bill Walsh be able to walk right out on the field and talk to us during the football game.
Yeah, like this.
Yeah.
Here's Dan Ronabal talking about this opportunity this week and the next.
What went through my mind is, wow, man, they want me to go represent the league and my team and myself and my family and the whole thing of the arena football league, playing arena style football professionally, and the opportunity to go and show the world what this game is all about in a new area like Beijing, and then in Hawaii, where it's a great atmosphere for sports and football alike. I was elated. I mean, I'm very thankful, and I don't think I could have ever passed up on this. So.
19 seconds or thereabouts left here in the first half of action from Honolulu. The East leads the West in this Arena All-Star game, 27-21, but the West knocking on the door inside the 10-yard line on first down and goal. Carson Kaufman is the quarterback, under some pressure, into the end zone, and then knocked away or dropped. Maybe both.
That was pretty dangerous.
I think Tracy Belton got a hand on it, but so did Jesse Schmidt, the receiver.
Yeah, and usually Jesse's been coming up with the catch in that case, Ricky. He's a guy that does not let the ball get away from him if it's anywhere near him.
Let's see here.
Now that looks just a little bit like pass interference.
That did look like pass interference. But I'm glad that they're letting them play today. I think that makes for a fun ball game.
Brings up a second down with 13 seconds, right on schedule. Kevin Guy managing the last minute of this clock beautifully for the West. If he can finish. Nice. Kaufman has a wide open receiver, and it's a touchdown to Marco Thomas.
See, two of the defensive backs went with Utia because he's been doing so well, and they left that guy wide open. They can't do that, though.
You can tell that they're having fun. I mean, they get in the end zone, they all get together, they do a little limbo dance type of thing. These guys have been practicing this on the beach. Look at this. Do the limbo.
Oh, I like that, man.
That's the Caribbean, guys. That's not Hawaii.
You know what? I don't think I could have even cleared the bar at that height.
You'd have gone over the top.
Hey, right. With a stepladder, maybe. So with an extra point here, the West can take a lead maybe into the locker room. Still about 8 seconds left. Kenton Chun, the Honolulu kicker.
Nice.
One of the native players who are in our game today knocks it through, so the West takes the lead 28-27 with 8 seconds left. We'll get a kickoff here before we take it into the locker room at the half. And coming up at the half, got some fun stuff for you. We're going to talk with Marty Judge, the founder and president of AFL China, about his dream of taking football to China. And we'll also be talking with Ron Jaworski, one of the owners of the AFL, the great football commentator and NFL great quarterback.
Nice.
About those prospects of football as it continues to spread all around the world. Ron is also a partner in a project. There's a new pro league in India and another one forming in Poland right now. And, of course, Jaworski would be part of that one.
Yeah. Of course you would. I would have thought that he'd do the one in Antarctica. He likes the cold weather. He lives in Philadelphia. I mean, why not go to every continent on the darn world?
Give him time.
I mean, but I'll tell you what, I am excited about the AFL China League because they're in 6 cities. And, Ricky, you know a lot more about China than most of us do. But Beijing and China, beautiful stadiums. That Beijing stadium held the Olympics there, 18,000 people. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be truly one of the 8th or 9th or 10th wonders of the world when they start really picking up the game of American football.
Yes, and I love the fact that we can be a part of that, bringing that a great game, this great game of football. Obviously, we love the game. I will always love the game of football, and to be able to bring it to some people who don't really know it the way we
never seen it before in their lives.
Yeah, it's just awesome. I can't wait to see that light go off where they say, man, this game is great, because I know it's going to happen.
But I'll tell you what, it's just, when you think about all of the ancient history of China, and this is the first opportunity, a week from today essentially, where the Chinese get to see real live, in your face, up close and personal, American football, professional football action. It really makes you think, you know, what a small world has become.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really true. You know, I've been over there a lot in the last year to get ready for this. In fact, I was there just 4 days ago. And things are happening so fast, the growth over there. I wouldn't be surprised when I get back to Beijing, there's another skyscraper that's gone up since I left. And I'm really not exaggerating. You're not going to believe the architectural style of some of these buildings that we'll see over there. And we'll show them some of that to you in the second half. And certainly next week when we're in Beijing, at a time to be announced a little bit later, you'll be able to see it for yourself. It'll truly be historic. Meanwhile, here in Honolulu, 8 seconds to go as Rattleball flips along the near sidelines, and that will stop the clock and give Dan another shot at the end zone before this first half is complete. His team now trailing by a point. And again, stay with us at the half. From Honolulu, we'll talk with Marty Judge. He is the businessman in Philadelphia, the owner of a very successful consulting, outsourcing, and training company that's been doing business in China for the last 4 years as well. And that's what gave him the idea when he became an owner, or a part owner, of the Philadelphia Soul, along with his friend Ron Jaworski. Hey, I've got connections in China. I have people on the ground. Maybe I can take this game that I love so much over to China. And next week will be a big step towards achieving that dream of a pro league there in about a year's time. Rattleball again saves a little clock or no.
Well, I was going to say, how can you hold the ball over the edge and keep running all the way to the end zone? You can't have it both ways. Nice try. Nice try.
I'd like to see where they're going to mark it, or if they're going to say it's...
Our referee says he's out of bounds. David Kutaya has the final say on this. David Kutaya, Carl Paganelli, Kenny Leffel, Terry Valenti working the game as our line judge. Yes, it's Miss Terry Valenti. And the back judge is Craig Griffith. They've been kind of quiet, and that's the way I like to see football without talking about those guys too much. It's the end of the first pass, and boy, Courtney Bailey standing by with Coach Kevin Guy. He really managed that clock beautifully at the end of the first half. Courtney, take it away.
Okay, so it's a high-scoring game. Is this part of what AFL football is all about?
You know, it is. It's fast-paced. You know, every possession you're trying to score right there at the end. You know, we did a good job offensively of managing the clock and made them use their timeouts and was able to score and score on the last possession.
Well, great. Thank you so much. And I know you're ready to get back into the locker room. Thank you so much. Okay,
thanks,
Luke,
Courtney.
Kevin
Guy is kind of a quiet, soft-spoken guy. But, boy, has he delivered. 3 straight years. Yeah.
He's an intense guy, I'll tell you what. It shows on the football field. It shows off the football field.
And that's how you need to be.
Yeah.
To play this game, to coach this game, and to win.
That's right.
That's what he does, win.
Yeah, two years in a row, his Arizona Rattlers have won the Arena Bowl. 2 years ago in New Orleans, last year in Orlando. That was your first taste of arena football. We're going to talk more about it and its worldwide possibilities when we come back with more of halftime from Honolulu and the Arena All-Star football game. We'll be back. My name is Lou Tilley. I'll be bringing you the play-by-play action. He may go all the way. Touchdown.
Sure showed it there in the 6th inning. Here we go, guys. Back up to you. 40% of their entire population was lost. Gone. Just like that.
Hi, I'm Lou Tilley, and I mean it when I say Lou Tilley Media can tell your story. Whether it's in Philadelphia, anywhere in the United States, or halfway around the world at the Great Wall of China, I'll get it done.
The Maxwell Football Club, honoring a great college football player, but now honoring American football stars on all levels. Founded 76 years ago, And only the Maxwell Football Club, the MFC, covers it all every year. Now you can join the Maxwell Football Club and vote on next year's stars and join this celebration of football at maxwellfootballclub.org. The Maxwell Football Club, the first fraternity of football.
Let's check back with Randy Miller. It's Miller time.
I had to wake up in the morning and shovel snow, and by the time you get done shoveling snow, there's more snow. And here we are. This is heaven on earth. Everyone should visit this place once. Here we are in front of Punahou School. 2009 Sports Illustrated had this place ranked the #1 high school in the nation for athletics. This school had 19 state championships one year. Manti Te'o played on the football team. There's this kid named Barry who went to high school here. Barry played ball down the street. Basketball was his game. Didn't make the school till his senior year. Barry gets a job working at the ice cream shop. I want chocolate chip ice cream and a sugar cone. 1 scoop. And is Barry working today? Oh, he used to work here. Well, little Barry grew up. He has a better job nowadays. He's now living in 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Barry now uses his birth name, Barack. That's right. This here is the high school for Barack Obama. Oh, by the way, Barack ate so much ice cream when he worked at this Baskin-Robbins across town, he now hates it. Doesn't eat ice cream again.
Halftime, and we have been following Lou Tilley all this week through his journey to China. Watch this video and see his epic journey and the excitement that's to come.
It's just awesome.
Today was exciting. In fact, it was probably the most exciting day of my life. We just got back from Arena Football League Board of Directors meeting. And Gary and I went in there and presented to them a chance for them to go international to China. And they approved us unanimously.
From China, as our very special guests, 2 visitors from Beijing who have paved the way for football in China.
The Chinese Arena Football League. Yep, Philadelphia is exporting football to China. City Councilman David O. and members of the Chinese delegation met with the owner of the Philadelphia Soul, Marty Judge, who, along with Soul co-owners Don Jaworski and Dick Vermeil, are starting the league.
In our continuing series on American professional football, we will break Brian down piece by piece, literally strip him down to his bare essentials of equipment. Well, almost. I think that's enough.
Hi, I'm Sam Venuto, quarterback coach of the Villanova University Wildcat football team. The quarterback position is very important in football.
It started out with some historic announcements by some of the principals involved in the project to the class of young students and prospective coaches, some of the players as well. The object was to begin to school them from the very ground up on the basics of football. Our coaches spent a lot of time in the classroom installing the basic concepts of arena football offense with our young players, students, prospective coaches, and referees.
We threw a lot of information at them and were pleasantly surprised at how much they could absorb. It's important to remember that our 24 students are the future coaches and officials from the 6 universities that have signed on to be part of our first league in China. There was a closing ceremony where each of our students was given an actual diploma or certificate. And on hand were members of the national media, as well as members from each of the 6 universities, along with our students' parents. It was really like a graduation ceremony.
It is still halftime, and joining me now is Marty Judge, the man behind AFL China. This has been such an exciting game, high scoring. Tell me, how have you made your dream come to reality?
Well, the reason it came to reality is the team I have behind me. Not just the players, but the guys I've hired. David Newey, all the guys, Ron Jaworski, Dick Vermeil, Bill McAtee. I mean, I'm surrounded by sports stars, and they have helped me create what I've done.
And why China? Of all the countries in the world, why China?
Because they don't have football. They don't have American football. They have football, but it's soccer. They don't know what football is. They are going to find out through arena football. They don't want NFL, and they want indoor football. That's what they want, and that's what we're going to give them. And they are so happy to have it. We're starting the league next year. It's going to start with 6 teams. We're going to grow to 12 to 20, and it's going to be a great success in China. China's a great country, and so is the United States. And that's why we're bringing it to China.
Well, Hawaii now, China just next week. What can we expect in China?
Well, first of all, I want to thank Hawaii for having us here. Hawaii is a stepping stone to China. Without Hawaii, we had to get all the kinks out here, and they've done a great job in helping us and supporting us. But after China is Asia, Latin America. We're going global with the AFL. The AFL is going to be a football league to deal with internationally.
Well, you guys, you heard it from Mr. Marty Judge himself. We are going global with AFL. So let's stay tuned for the second half of this exciting game, and let's hope for many more scoring touchdowns.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Pleasure.
My name is Lou Tilley. I'll be bringing you the play-by-play action. He may go all the way. Touchdown!
Sure showed it there in the 6th inning. Here we go, guys. Back up to you. 40% of their entire population was lost. Gone. Just like that. Hi, I'm Lou Tilley, and I mean it when I say Lou Tilley Media can tell your story. Whether it's in Philadelphia, anywhere in the United States, or halfway around the world at the Great Wall of China, I'll get it done.
The Maxwell Football Club, honoring a great college football player, but now honoring American football stars on all levels. Founded 76 years ago.
And only the Maxwell Football Club, the MFC, covers it all, every year.
Now you can join the Maxwell Football Club and vote on next year's stars and join this celebration of football at maxwellfootballclub.org. The Maxwell Football Club, the first fraternity of football.
And we're at halftime from Honolulu, and we're inside the AFL China studios. Lou Tilley with one of the principals of this group that has the ambition
next week. Ron Jaworski of taking your great game into China. Not to discount this great game we're watching right now from Honolulu, but Ron, what an explosion. We're rampaging through the whole Pacific Rim right now on our way to China.
Yeah, well, how exciting is the first half of football in Honolulu? I mean, this is arena football style now. Right. People in Honolulu are seeing the great arena football league game with bodies flying around and players tackling and, you know, balls being thrown and cheerleaders and just, I mean, that's arena football.
And hula dancers.
And hula dancers.
Yeah.
We don't want to forget that.
Not bad.
And this is the product that is going to Beijing.
Yeah.
That's what is so exciting. Like the people in Honolulu love football.
Yeah,
they love arena football. This product is going worldwide. We're going to stop in Beijing first. The Chinese people are very excited. Next week at this time, you know, our guys will be on the field playing a game in front of the Chinese people. Never happened before. That's tremendously exciting. I'm ready to play. I'm too old to be doing that, but I'm getting fired up.
It's hard to believe. Ron Jaworski, Marty Judge, and this group of AFL China have been chasing this dream for almost 3 years now. And you can imagine the complexities of bringing a sport, bringing a business to China, which is not easy to begin with. But here you are on the doorstep, and this is a huge milestone. This will be the first ever American-style professional football game in the history of China next week.
Lou, I'm glad you mentioned Marty Judge because he really has been the constant in making this happen. He has been the backbone. He really has been. You know, a few years ago, Marty and I were talking about football. We're partners in the Philadelphia Soul of the Arena Football League, and we love football. Yeah. And we're talking about it, and I'm saying, boy, the Chinese people, you know, they love sports. Yeah. I was watching the Olympics. Man, those people love sports. And Marty goes, you know, Marty in his way, we're going to take football to China.
Yeah, I remember.
And I mean, that was it.
Yeah.
That's how it started.
Yeah.
And here we are, a week away from going to China. I mean, it is very exciting. And Marty, the entire staff, the commitment they have made has been remarkable. No one could have done what Marty and his group has done. I'm a small part of this. I'm very thrilled to have a small part of this. But, man, I can't say enough good things about all the hard work, the effort, the energy you had to have to make this happen. Marty's been an incredible leader.
Yeah, he's if he were a hurdler, if he couldn't jump over him, he runs through him. But he gets to the finish line. And here you go now, Ron. We're going to be there a week from now, and this dream's going to become a reality. When people back home in Philadelphia or right here in Honolulu, they've been asking about this all week, and they say, really? Football in China? You must get that all the time. How do you answer?
What's the problem? I mean, I was there. I went to Beijing when we negotiated the deal with the Chinese government, and I was absolutely blown away by the size of many of the Chinese people. Big, strong weightlifters, you know. Obviously, they're going to have to learn the American way of football. We are already in 5 universities in China teaching the young men how to play the game. They're athletic, they're big, they're strong, and in a short period of time, the Arena Football League in China is going to have a lot of Chinese players playing on the teams.
Just tremendous enthusiasm. As you mentioned, I actually visited most of those universities, brought a training course, coaches to them. The enthusiasm just blew me away. I felt like a kid again. In fact, one time I forgot to tell the guys that we were doing a walkthrough, and I was playing the quarterback, and I said, "Hut," and like in slow motion, I went, "Oh no!"
See, they like the contact.
They love it. They love sacking the quarterback.
Right. I don't like that part.
Ron, the goal is, as you mentioned, with these universities, is to bring the Chinese programs from the grassroots up so that they fill in the pro league that you hope to establish there.
No question. The plan is to play this exhibition game. Let the Chinese people see American arena football. First and foremost, that we want them to see it on their turf, in their country. Then a year from now, we intend to have 6 franchises play in China. So there'll be great competition amongst the Chinese people and their cities. Now, early when we start this, it'll probably be predominantly American players, but we do want to have Chinese players on every single team. And then we'll assimilate them into the league as they learn the game at the high school level, the collegiate level, or maybe even the little league level once we get that ramped up. We know this is an enormous project, but also very exciting. At the end of the day, we want to have a lot of Chinese players in the early years, and in a few years, we want all Chinese players.
Well, I can't wait to get there next week with all of these players who are so excited, first of all, to
they
be
are fired up.
But I can't wait to see these guys climb the Great Wall, as you and I have, and toss the ball
That's
around.
Right. Hey.
And check your local listings, by the way, because we'll be televising that game for you as well. Ron, good being with you here at halftime of our AFL All-Star game in Honolulu. This has been a great pleasure.
I'm sure everyone's enjoying Arena Football League, man. It's great football. football. Great players.
Ron, it's been a fantastic week, and all of our fans and viewers, I hope you're enjoying the action as well, because now the second half of our game from Honolulu coming your way right after this. My name is Lou Tilley. I'll be bringing you the play-by-play action. He may go all the way. Touchdown! Sure showed it there in the 6th inning. Here we go, guys. Back up to you. 40% of their entire population was lost. Gone. Just like that. Hi, I'm Lou Tilley, and I mean it when I say Lou Tilley Media can tell your story. Whether it's in Philadelphia, anywhere in the United States, or halfway around the world at the Great Wall of China, I'll get it done.
I threw a lot of information at you there at the half, but now you know a little bit more about the AFL China group. I'm happy as the manager of Lou Tilley Media to be part of that. Lou Tilley now along with Rick Waters and Russ Francis. Russ, a part of AFL China now officially, in charge of business in the Pacific region. And Ricky and your wife, Kat, and your son, with a beautiful song entertaining the crowd here at halftime. You must be very proud.
I was very proud. That was very cool.
Yeah, he's a very cool kid. Very nice kid.
Thank
as
you.
well as both of your young children.
Heard him sing last night, too, Lou. Remember at the party last night? Got up there with the guitar, crystal clear voice. Just hitting every note. I mean, what a talent. You got to be really proud. I know you are.
I'm very proud. Thank you, Russ.
That's Ricky Waters Jr., a 12-year-old whose talent is only exceeded by his personality and his lovely manners. At the half now, the West leading the East 28-27 in our Arena All-Star football game. Passing yards, it's all passing, except the East has a few rushing yards. And more importantly, the West, under Coach Kevin Guy, has the lead at 28-27. And the West will start out with the ball with a chance to stretch out the lead. Carson Kaufman will start the second half here. He's been here working out with the team all week long.
Now, I know things happen fast, but I've expected more sacks. They're not getting to the quarterback on defense.
But you have to say that the offensive line is doing a good job when that's happening, too.
Well, that's true. That's true. I don't like to give them any credit.
Kaufman puts one on the money, but the ball dropped down in the end zone. Carson Kaufman, 6'3", 215, out of Kansas State, where he stepped into the lineup following Josh Freeman and led the Kansas State Wildcats into the Pinstripe Bowl at Yankee Stadium against Syracuse.
There we go. Okay. That's what I'm talking about.
And his team has a lead here in the Arena All-Star football game. And
Having a
on
little
second
fun
down,
with Terrence Smith there. He said he's going to pick one off and run it back for me.
Now, there is the defense finally getting a drop on the offense. I'll tell you what, you don't see that very often, but in Arena Football League, but Carson had to rush that pass, went straight up in the air like a wounded duck, and he's lucky that the East didn't come up with that football.
third down and 10 then for Kaufman. Running clock, a reminder, all through the first and second halves until the final minute, and then we revert to the traditional timing. Kaufman with 3rd and 10. Had a solid first half, played last year with Chicago, and his rights now go to Iowa for the next season of AFL football. Looks over the middle and off the fingertips, incomplete. It'll bring up 4th down.
That's when you talk about a quarterback having to reload. His hand came forward. Carson wanted to get that ball out sooner. And then you see him pump just a little bit. It's gonna, nope, there's the guy up in front of him. And then he just gets it just a little bit too high. Yeah, sails away.
Yeah, it sailed on him a little bit. Took off on him.
Nose up a little bit. Yeah. Russ, in your great career with both New England and the Niners, of course, you mentioned you played with Montana. Were you in the Grogan years with Patriots?
I was. Steve Grogan and I came in the same year, 1975. Jim Plunkett was the quarterback our first year. Steve came in about halfway through the season because of injuries. and he never relinquished the position after that. Of course, Jim Plunkett went on with the 49ers for a year or so, then ended up really developing as a MVP quarterback for the Raiders.
Turnover on downs. The East will get it for the first time here in the second half. And a chance to take the lead. Randy Miller has been the fourth member of our broadcast crew with us all week, been taking us all around Hawaii as only he can.
The flying Hawaiian Shane Victorino, just another example of a kid from Hawaii who makes good. Before he was a famous baseball player playing for the Phillies and now the Boston Red Sox, Shane grew up on the other island over in Maui. He was the star athlete. He went to St. Anthony's High School, and he was a great football player. And there was a game where Shane actually touched the ball 15 times, had 8 touchdowns. Well, Shane was recruited by the University of Hawaii by June Jones. He ends up getting drafted by the LA Dodgers. The rest is history. 2008 World Series champion with the Phillies, 2013 World Series champion with the Boston Red Sox. And I'll tell you, when you're out around, even in Hawaii, people love Shane Victorino. This guy is probably the most famous athlete on the island. And I'll tell you, I know Shane personally a little bit, having covered the Phillies for 16 years, one of my favorite guys I've ever covered. And I tell you what, I bet you if he'd have stuck with football, that he might be a pretty darn good arena player.
Miller time, this time on Shane Victorino. And boy, is he in the news right now. I got to know Shane a little bit when he was playing with the champion Philadelphia Phillies. And, of course, you knew him all over the islands here. I guess he is the Hawaiian hero right now, Russ.
Oh, absolutely. Of course, that's my team, the Boston Red Sox. Having played 8 years with the Patriots, I went to Fenway a lot. And to see Sean, a local boy, do so well, especially in that final game, to bring the championship back to Boston where it belongs was truly warms my heart.
Oh, boy.
I'm sorry.
Ouch.
It's true.
Ouch.
But Shane's one of those guys who's just, you know, he played every sport you could play. He's a great surfer, fisherman. You know, he does just about anything you can expect a guy to do. Put him on a baseball field under pressure, and you saw what he did in the last game. It's fantastic to watch that type of excitement right here in Hawaii so far away.
The Flying Hawaiian.
That's right.
And flying, the man in motion, Dominic Goodman, who had an excellent first half, but this pass from Roundabout is knocked down. New quarterback in the game for these. Randy Hibbert now in at quarterback, guys, replacing Roundabout, who might be done for this game, but Dan will see a lot of action next week when we go to China.
Oh, yeah, and he needs to rest that arm.
Dan needs some rest.
Yeah, he needs some rest.
He's waterlogged, I can tell you that.
Hey, we had a good time this week, man.
We did.
I liked hanging out with him, man. A great personality, a great guy, fun-loving guy. It's really cool.
We won't be doing any surfing next week. I got news for you.
No, it's going to be a little chillier.
Hibbert goes to the end zone and put the ball right on the fingertips of his intended receivers. But he kind of ran out of room in the corner there, and I think he took a pad into the chest. And that's number 15, Triche Rodriguez.
That's one of those passes that you get away with in the open field. You're not going to get away with in the corner of the end zone. Threw it just a little bit long. Hibbert, you know, the former, didn't he play Philly with the baseball team there for a while?
Yeah, it was in the system.
He threw that like a baseball.
Threw it like a baseball, yeah. It'll bring up third down and 10.
Well, Elway, didn't he play baseball? I know some good baseball players.
Yeah. So he didn't have to play for the Colts. Yeah. Hibbert on the money this time. A completion, which will be an automatic. It'll be a first down for the East.
Yeah, Terrence Smith, he goes both ways. He plays offense and defense, like we were talking about before.
Well, he's going to get that score for you, but it might be on offense.
Yeah.
Now, there's one thing that you see right there. It's just professional courtesy, I guess you could call it. Because in the season, that guy gets blasted into the boards.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The first thing that you talk about Boston, the Boston Red Sox winning the World Series, one of the guys took me to a hockey game my first week in Boston. I couldn't believe that they hit each other so hard, especially up against the boards.
Well, there's an example. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, now it's the end zone. They're going to get serious when you're getting there in scoring position.
There's a great columnist for the Philadelphia Inquirer named Bill Lyon, who once was trying to answer the question, why are there so many fights in hockey? And someone said, well, can you imagine football if there were no out of bounds and there were boards and you were carrying sticks?
Yeah.
I think there might be a few fights.
And sharp blades.
And sharp blades.
I think the sticks have something to do with it.
The sticks have a lot to do with it. Hibbert incomplete, so that'll bring up second and goal. East trying to take the lead again. West leads by a point, 28-27. Our first motion penalty of the game. That's kind of surprising.
False start offense. Number 71. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Now, how do you feel? You're the one guy on the team that gets a penalty called on him. The linemen hate that. I mean, they just look at each other like, did you really do that? No one else has. You're the only guy. You came all the way to Hawaii to be seen on international TV, by the way. If you're watching this in the U.S., this is also going over to Asia and everywhere else in the world. That guy now is a GOAT.
He's known for that.
Yeah. Number 71, the GOAT.
Oh,
and
and then he's
tight end screen.
Now he's going for a touchdown.
The little slip screen. C.J. Cobb.
Look at that chance. Look
Boom. He blows everybody up. Oh, I love it. Oh, man. I love it.
Now look at the guy over here. Unbelievable.
Oh, man. Whenever you got a big guy like that who can move like that, you got to love it.
I saw the shockwave come all the way down the field and hit Rodriguez. He fell down on the 30.
CJ is 6'4", and I think conservatively listed at 310.
Yeah, well,
conservatively.
that's not right. That's not, and he's a tight end. You got to love it to see those big guys, the big hogs, get that ball like that, especially a pass, a real pass. That was a real pass.
That's fun.
Hey, the other night, Thursday night, I didn't venture out into this. I know Russ was all dolled up for the part. It was Halloween in Honolulu, and who knew that it was the equivalent of Mardi Gras in this island paradise. I mean, you could not move in downtown Waikiki Beach in years. Some of our crew did get out and have some fun, and it was a lot of fun all week long. We'll be right back with more from Honolulu. Lou Tilley, Ricky Waters. Ricky, you and I heading to Beijing next week. Your wife is a native there. You've been there a couple of times. We're almost going to have to teach the folks how to react to our game, you know?
Yes, I think so. We played a game in London one time when I was with the 49ers, and it was a very fun time. But the only thing that was kind of weird is that they were cheering at the wrong time.
Yeah.
And there were times that they had the wave going around, and we kind of wanted them to be quiet at that time, and they didn't quite get it. And I think that that's kind of along the lines of what we're going to have to do with them as well.
It'll be fun for sure. We'll be telling you more about it as we go along. First ever football game, November 10th in Beijing, the AFL All-Stars.
So exciting.
Russ Francis back in the booth with us now as well. And Russ, I know that there's so many great football players in the Pacific Rim, and Honolulu, Hawaii, has kind of become the center of it all, right?
It really has, and the players are stepping up to the plate. There's a gentleman on the field, number 24, Ofaki Moana Valikola. He's a national rugby team player for Tonga, and he's playing his first American football game today. Number 24, 6'6", 300-pound, runs a 4.840. Now, you just don't see that except here in Hawaii, where we have all the cultures combining at one to play American football.
And these guys will have the chance to make the squad when we begin playing China next year. Now let's get back to the play in Honolulu. The East leads at 34-28 with 7:28 to go in the third of four quarters to play here in our Arena Football All-Star game. These are the All-Stars from the AFL. Their season wrapped up in August when Arizona defeated Philadelphia in the Arena Bowl in Orlando. But they're here to go to Beijing, China, to start a new league there about this time a year from now. Back underway, the rebound net's in play in the Arena League.
I love catching the way they catch it off the net. I can imagine catching off the net and just running it all the way. That would just be a lot of fun.
Good starting field position now. For the West, they trail again 34-28. They led at the end of the first half by 28-7. I'm Lou Tilley along with Ricky Waters and Russ Francis. Courtney Bailey handling our sideline interviews, and we'll hear from Randy Miller from time to time as he takes us around Hawaii in his Miller Time segments.
Big number 9.
And we have a new quarterback in the game. For the West, he's one of the Hawaiians who are getting their shot here for some exposure and maybe a shot in the new league in China. And on his very first play under scrimmage, big Brian Robinson of the Philadelphia Soul welcomes him to the AFL.
Yeah, that's Watson Togialua, quarterback. He played in the Norway American Football Federation, Eastern Oregon University. 5'10", 200 pounds, and he hails from Honolulu, and that's gotta hurt.
It's awesome for him to get in there, but man, that's a tough way to start.
That's Brian Robinson of the Philadelphia Soul, is one of the all-time sack leaders for the Soul and in the AFL for the last 2 seasons. He's averaged 12 sacks per season, and he couldn't help himself. He saw a quarterback, and he couldn't hold off.
Exactly.
Well, if you're stepping back and almost in a sprint, you're running right out into him. Just stay in the pocket, let the guys protect you.
So it's a loss and a second down and long for the young quarterback who throws long, hangs it up there.
Oh, I think he caught it.
It's a touchdown.
It's a touchdown.
Oh, that's
unbelievable.
That was awesome.
Take that.
Take that.
Take that, says Watson Togialua.
Man.
Marco Thomas, watch him climb the wall and bring it down. And if you hold on, even if you fall into the cement concrete, it's a touchdown. And the official says he did.
Yeah, he got it.
That was an unreal effort by Marco Thomas. If you're a coach, if you're a former player, NFL, Canadian Football League, anywhere in the world, that is a magnificent, epic catch.
And Watson Togialua is 1 for 1 with a 35-yard touchdown.
Isn't that something? And that's something you don't see in the NFL right there.
Kenton Chun, another Hawaiian, makes it a 7-pointer. How about that? The West back on top.
And that's how you bounce back.
Here's your highlight of the night, gang. Watch this one.
Well, I'll tell you what, when Watson, number 12, Togialua, steps back to fire, watch the protection he's getting. There is no pressure whatsoever. Look at that spiral. And he puts it outside of the wall.
Right on the money.
And Marcos has to go after it. I love that last part where you see, the last thing you see here is feet.
That's beautiful. Hey, we're having a lot of fun here. Let's go down to Courtney Bailey with more.
Okay, thanks, Lou. Joining me now are the AFL cheerleaders and their captain, OOA Carr. You have some gorgeous girls on your squad. What does it take to be a cheerleader?
Well, we have a really, really long audition process. It lasts all day. We do hip-hop and jazz, but the ladies standing behind me are definitely the best.
So exciting. So tell me the difference between your uniforms. Who's red and who's blue?
Okay, so the girls that have red on the bottom and the red in the hair are East. And the other girls with the blue and the blue headband are West.
So you guys gave a killer performance earlier. I loved all your dance moves. How often do you have to practice to get that perfect?
Wow, we definitely practice a lot. We practice at least 3 times a week for hours. We have to make sure that it's perfect.
And how excited are you to be making history today with the AFL All-Stars?
We are so excited to be here. Aren't we, ladies?
Yeah! Okay, Lou, spirit fingers, Lou. Back to you.
Oh, baby, I love cheerleaders. Hey, tell me you're never watching them. Ricky Waters married one from the 49ers. You weren't paying attention on the field all the time, were you?
You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Well, I'll tell you what, both Ricky and I going out of bounds like that last play you saw, it was never a problem if we're heading into the cheerleader.
Exactly. I might take a little bit of time coming back.
That's right. That's right. Here's my phone number.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You about to see me?
Oh, my goodness.
Nice return. You got to talk about it. You know, Vince Papale, good friend of mine, played with the Eagles. Ron Jaworski, you just saw, we did the pregame show for next week in Beijing, and I heard him talking about it. He said, hey, Joe, remember training camp back in '79? I used to tell you, blonde at the 5-yard line. Throw it long.
That sounds like him too, man.
Guys don't do that.
I love it.
Great guy, man.
I love it. Well, you married Catherine. She was a 49er cheerleader, but you were just getting to know each other then, right? It took a while before you guys really got together. Huh?
Yeah, exactly. Actually, when she was cheering, and I didn't even know her, and so it's kind of funny, you know.
Really?
Yeah,
She went from cheerleading to law.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. She became a lawyer, so man, I think I did pretty good.
Hibbert to the end zone, and now we got a little score fest going, and there's your boy hitting the pay door, Terrence Smith, and Hibbert put it right on the money.
He told me he's going to get one for me. That's what's up. No, that was a great catch, too. Right in the corner.
Hibbert, nice throw here.
Hibbert, yeah, he's doing a great job.
And this is when you see the competition juices start to flow. You get one catch like Marco Thomas. Now the East has to come back and show that they can do the receivers and the quarterbacks.
You're right.
Yeah.
They got to outdo each other.
That's right.
That's what it's all about.
You know, you're going to start seeing people hit just a little bit harder, too, as this score continues to stay close.
Oh, by the way, there's a little incentive to the winning team here.
Yep. They get to go to China.
Well, that too. There might be a little bonus to the winning team here. Here's another look at the touchdown. He missed the extra point, but boy, this is worth another look. We've had back-to-back scoring plays that are fine highlights. Hibbert throwing it long for Terrence Smith in the touchdown. And we'll be right back. Hey, welcome back, everyone. Lou Tilley, Ricky Waters, and Russ Francis during the break, but live here on ESPN3. Maybe not when you see this later on our Comcast Sports Nets. And we're starting to talk a little bit. These guys are really getting to know the game. Russ is one of the original arena ball announcers with ESPN, but Ricky just getting a feel for it. Here's the new ball that we've designed for China, guys, with the Ganlan Media, which is the name of our company in China, the AFL logo. And actually, the official one has the Marty Judge signature on it.
Oh, no.
Huh?
I want one of those as a memento. I'll put it right next to my Pete Rozelle ball because I've got one of those.
Well, you know what he always says. There's 3 MJs.
What? Who's
There's
that?
Michael Jordan.
Right.
There's Michael Jackson.
Yes.
And there is Marty Judge.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Where is he? Where's the left-hander? I'm going to hit him on the fly.
He's open. There he goes. There he goes.
I'll tell you what. He says he was fast. And if his dance moves are any indication, he was probably not a bad ball player.
I'll tell you what he's got. He's got vision. He's got vision on this league, AFL China, going to Beijing. It is fantastic.
Yeah, he's taking a big dare and a big gamble, and he's backing up his bet with his own, if you know what I'm saying.
Yes, he is.
And we respect that. Marty Judge, here's to you. Hope it works out well. We'll be there in Beijing next week.
Yes, indeed.
And we'll continue after a second.
The Arena Football League is fun and it's affordable. And the one thing that we've got to make crystal clear to Chinese people, and you'd mentioned it earlier, that they're more of a nationalistic and they love their national sports and things like they love the Olympics and it's their country. But we're going to kind of expand that a little bit, or maybe close it in, maybe the better way to put it. It's going to be each city now competing against each other. So, you know, all the fans in Beijing, yeah, they're all Chinese. They're going to root for Beijing, you know. So each city will have the team that they root for. And I think it's something that'll catch on rather quickly. You know, they are a very patriotic group. They love their country. Now we're going to make them love their city and love their Arena Football League team and cheer for them and show up and get excited like us Americans do.
Ron Jaworski, who's Marty Judge's partner with the Philadelphia Soul and in AFL China. A great NFL quarterback with the Eagles, Kansas City Chiefs, Miami Dolphins near the end of his career, and now makes his home in the Philadelphia area. And the NFL Films is kind of his work office before he runs up to Bristol for a full week of work at ESPN every week, where he does such a great job. And what an creative partner he is with the Soul. Loves the indoor game. And here's the young quarterback throwing long again. And that pass covered about 53 yards in the air.
What a throw.
Well, I'll tell you what, number 10, Robinson, defensive back. Yeah, he does have a nice arm. Nice touch, too. Robinson, number 10, just got, I mean, I know this is an all-star game. I just can't help saying this as a receiver. He got a hold of the arm of the receiver just as they're going into the end zone, or that guy, you know, then you have a chance to maybe get the other hand up and stop it.
It may be my fault. Craig Griffith, the back judge, I may have had a cocktail with him last night and said, Craig, let's let him play.
That's it.
And I paid for it, so maybe, I don't know. I'm just saying.
Well, he might have been out of position. Now, there we go. There we go. Now you see.
Marco Thomas is playing football, folks.
That's right.
Wow.
That's what happens.
Nice little throw from Togiaiulo to Marco Thomas, who climbed the wall and breaks 3 tackles and takes it down into the 14-yard line.
There's 2 ways of looking at that. The defense has to wrap up and make that tackle.
That's right.
Run a play.
Well, I tell you what, this is the exciting part of being on an offense when this starts to gel. Your teammates start to make things happen. Watson throws the ball, and then you just see the lineman coming downfield to block. Everybody comes together as one.
And the West trailing by 5.
On the move.
Riding the young Hawaiian quarterback who has entered the game. He played some football in Norway and played collegiately at Eastern Oregon University. Looks to the end zone.
Whoa!
And this time, it's picked off.
Pick.
Tracy Belton with the interception for the East defense. Got a little greedy there, guys.
He has a nose for that football, though.
Yeah, he's got his hands on it a couple of times.
Yeah.
You know, the thing a quarterback can't do there, as you guys all know, they're right by the goal line. Whenever there's a crowd, you're not going to throw into it. I mean, they're all together. It's not as if they're closing in on the receiver. They're there. You got to stop the temptation because you see the guy in the end zone to go ahead and throw it. As you look at this from the now, see, he just throws that ball right into the hands of the defender.
I don't think he ever saw it. I think
so?
he got locked in on his receiver, and he was throwing it to him and didn't even see that the defensive back was sitting.
You didn't see the red? You didn't see red?
Man, he really should have.
Supposed to see red. Danger, danger.
Yeah, I don't think he saw it.
Speaking of red, when I arrived here, my hair was dark, and 5 days in the salt water and the sun, I noticed it's turning red on me.
I was going to say something about that. I didn't know if you did that just for the broadcast or not.
No, I wouldn't lighten my hair for the broadcast, no.
I'm just kidding. It looks good.
I have to say it looks good.
Yeah. It looks good.
Well, you got a haircut before the show today.
I did. I had to get it cleaned up.
What else do you say? Of course it looks good. It looks great.
You're a redhead.
So does this. This looks even better.
Tell me you're a redhead.
And that looks real good.
No, that looks real good.
That's the dance team from the University of Hawaii that's performing here today. The Hawaiians had a little bit of a tough time on the road at Utah State today, right, Russ?
Yeah, they had a real bad time. I think it was 49-10. You know, it's just been a tough year for the Rainbows. They've lost every game, and we're hoping that they're going to finish the last part of the season, you know, on the positive side. But it's hard to concentrate right now.
Speaking of the Rainbows. Game here in Honolulu, and a nice round of applause for the University of Hawaii dancers. It'll be interesting next week, guys, because as part of our first ever football game in China, we'll have Chinese cheerleaders as well.
Fantastic. And I bet that's fun for them, really, because, first of all, the Chinese gymnastics, tops in the world. I bet you're going to see some dancers and some gymnastic moves. They'll just knock your socks off because they are so talented there.
I heard they're very good dancers, too, and I heard they can twerk it a little bit.
I bet.
Oh, no.
Are you getting this from home?
I had to put that in there.
I don't think that's legal yet in China. I'm not sure it's legal here. Hibbert has a completion and heading towards the end zone, right? Number 16, Goodman, Dominic Goodman.
You know, this is one of those things when you're a player, things start to get away from you. If the West doesn't watch out, the East is just going to run away with it.
East up a score at 40-35, threatening to make it 2 as time runs down on the third quarter of play.
Now, I saw a lot of professional wrestling matches in here as a kid. My dad used to run the wrestling, 50 State Big Time Wrestling. That looked like a headlock there at the end, or a sleeper hold. I'm not sure which one.
Hibbert first and goal has Goodman in motion. Could be the last play of the third quarter. Hands off to Brian Robinson.
You know I love to see it. Come on.
Keep going. Don't quit. Oh, come on. You can't get that close to the end zone and not get in there.
Oh, Brian's making his case.
Brian Robinson. Come on. I put the ball over there.
No, that was actually a very good run by him.
Time runs out on the third quarter. We have 15 minutes left to play in regulation. Watch big number 12, Brian Robinson, 6'4", 285.
3. He's about to carry him in, but he got some help. Look, he's on his back.
Oh, that hurts. That hurts. He's going to be hearing all about that one. Number 12's main position and claim to fame is at defensive end with the Philadelphia Soul, where he's been a terror. And he set an all-time AFL record in the last couple of years. He's blocked 16 kicks from scrimmage.
Wow.
And by that, I mean extra points or field goals. 16.
Wow.
And that's a real difference maker.
Now, why wouldn't you give the ball to a guy that weighs 290 pounds?
Let's go down to Courtney Bailey standing by with a live Miller time.
Well, joining me now is Randy Miller with Miller Time. He's the official blogger and reporter for here on AFL China. This game has been so exciting. What do you think the Chinese are going to expect for next week when we're there?
I tell you what, Marcus Thomas flying over the boards on the other side, that's great. This is such a fan-friendly game, and we're so close to the action here. You see the players interacting with the crowd. The Chinese people are going to absolutely love this.
You have a lot of material for the next Miller Time, right?
Oh, absolutely. These guys are so personable. They're just guys that you want to get to know. You want to watch them play. And look, this is very exciting football. A lot of people, this is a hidden secret. If you come down and watch them play, it's fantastic.
Great. Thank you so much. And Lou, back to you.
Hey, Courtney, nice job hanging in there in a crazy situation here today. She does a beautiful job normally reporting on entertainment and fashion in Los Angeles. She was one of the finalists to replace Kathy Lee when Regis had the open auditions.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's a very, very talented girl. Miller Time, he's going to do a piece later on the great Hawaiian surf king, the Duke.
Yeah, Duke Kahanamoku.
Wow.
Yep, Duke Kahanamoku, Olympic champion, gold medalist, 1912.
What a great story.
Father of modern surfing.
What a great story. And Randy's going to take to the waves. That's worth hanging around for. Meanwhile, Hibbard has the ball at the west goal line, trying to make it a 2-score spread, but loose ball, and the West comes up with it.
And that's something that you cannot do when you're on the 1-yard line with a great chance to score. Oh,
Mr. Hawthorne, big number 77, drops on the ball, and then he picks up and decides, I'm going to score a touchdown. Watch this. He says, I'm
now he's going?
Yep, there he goes.
Sorry, you're
too late.
Down.
Antaj Hawthorne, number 77, another one of those champion Arizona Rattlers, had a nice run in the NFL with the Oakland Raiders in his day.
Wow.
You know what? I saw his coach, speaking of Rattlers, Kevin Guy, say, run, when he dropped on it. I mean,
Kevin doesn't miss a trick.
No.
And he's into it. He's engaged, like you said.
So they stick with the flying Hawaiian, not Shane Victorino, at quarterback. That's Watson Togiaiula, who has a touchdown pass, but then was picked off in the end zone, but survives it, gets the ball back, and now he throws long down the sideline.
Oh!
Just long for Marco
Cocktails.
Wow.
Almost caught the boom.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, high hit on the defense, number 56.
Okay.
10-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Oh, how about that? Roughing the passer in an all-star game.
Well, you're not supposed to throw him down on the ground, then step on his throat. and then kick him in the knee, and then grab him by the, I don't know. These guys are very, very violent.
Rodney Beeman, 6'2", 285 out of the Tampa Bay Storm, is called for the personal foul, so they'll replay that down. And welcome to pro football, Watson.
This ball's going to number 5, except
down.
Bad exchange, and Togiaulo has the good sense to pick it up and just sit down on it and try again.
A case of the drops now. And that's one of those situations where you don't really know if the quarterback didn't put his hand up there far enough or the center doesn't get the ball up there to him. Because he could pull out too soon, and that's what happens.
Well, you talk about that great quarterback, Nick Davila, who's now in the game. And he and Ramos, number 99, Andy Ramos, have really not had a lot of snaps together.
Nick Davila now into the game as Kevin Guy goes for the win. And who better to go with than the winningest quarterback the last couple of years in the AFL, Nick Davila, 6'4", 215 pounds, lefty, fires down the field.
That's what he does. Put the ball right on the money. You have to come up with that.
Oh, boy, that hurt.
Mario's
got about a half dozen of these.
Mario, you know what's nice about arena football that I've heard, Lou and Ricky? They have psychologists that travel with the team. This guy's going to need one.
That's why he's a rookie.
He's going to be staying up at
the year.
That's right. That's right. Take it back. Take back the award. He's going to be waking up shaking in the middle of the night. You better go see that psycho.
Urotia has 16 hours on a play ride to Beijing to discuss it.
Oh, man.
With Nick Davila, who's not used to that. Nick is a nice player out of the University of Cincinnati, who had a good career there and a better one, made for the indoor game. Look at that. Look at the crispness on the delivery there.
That's how you make up for it. That's how you make up for it.
That's right. Okay, cancel the psych session.
It's great to see.
Fantastic. That's just a drill to the outside. Give that little juke to the defender, and there's nothing but clean, fresh air all the way to the end zone.
Oh, I like the little finger flip on the tail end of it. Mario Urotia, 6'5", 230 pounds out of Louisville, the Rookie of the Year out of playing for Utah this past year in the AFL. His rights go over to New Orleans, but he may be headed to Winnipeg, they say, of the CFL for his next pro contract.
You know what, too, Lou? I just want to say really quickly to give him just a little bit more credit. That's what a professional football player does. You have a bad play like the one before, you know you should have had, and then you just come back and you win, you score, you stay in the game.
And with that, the West closes the gap. Davila to Urotia. Breaks a tackle. Finds the end zone.
Here we go. Go for it, girls. These are the ladies from our HWGL Flag Football League. But what he didn't call us.
Earlier this week, as part of the activities for the visiting players, they got the chance to work out at the famous Aloha Stadium here in Honolulu. This has been the site of the Pro Bowl and the site of the University of Hawaii. They're on the road today, but we'll be back with more indoor ball right after this. My name is Lou Tilley. I'll be bringing you the play-by-play act. He may go all the way. Touchdown.
Sure showed it there in the 6th inning. Here we go, guys. Back up to you. 40% of their entire population was lost. Gone. Just like that. Hi, I'm Lou Tilley, and I mean it when I say Lou Tilley Media can tell your story. Whether it's in Philadelphia, anywhere in the United States, or halfway around the world at the Great Wall of China, I'll get it done.
The Maxwell Football Club, honoring a great college football player, but now honoring American football stars on all levels. Founded 76 years ago. And only the Maxwell Football Club, the MFC, covers it all every year. Now you can join the Maxwell Football Club and vote on next year's stars and join this celebration of football at maxwellfootballclub.org. The Maxwell Football Club, the first fraternity of football.
What a spectacular view. You've seen it a million times and you never get tired of it. I've made it a point to spend every sunset looking back at Diamond Head and Waikiki here in beautiful Hawaii. And Paradise has a lot to live up to in comparison to Hawaii. Right now we're watching the AFL All-Stars, the Arena All-Stars, and the West leads 42-40 on ESPN. I'm Lou Tilley along with Rick Waters and Russ Francis. And the East will take the ball back. Dan Rattlers, the all-star quarterback of the Philadelphia Soul, went through the first half and has been replaced here in the second half as Nick Davila has come in for the West and sparked them and put them back into the lead. Now Randy Hibbard will take over and try to leapfrog back in front for the East. We play running clock now. We're in the fourth quarter, under 11 minutes to go. But in the final minute of action, we'll revert to traditional football timing, as you know it. Hibbard with a pump fake, under some pressure, dumps it off.
Wow, that was nice there, because that was not where he wanted to go with the ball, but the guy he wanted to throw it to, Goodman, was covered. Put the ball back, boom.
Yeah, that's not as easy. That's not as easy as it sounds either.
No.
You know, like you said, he was looking the other direction. Came back, had to find the receiver up by the boards.
Some fresh DBs in there for the West. Now Carlton Brown seeing some action, along with Cameron McGlenn in that defensive backfield, while the East is sticking pretty much with the same trio of receivers throughout. It's P.J. Rodriguez in motion. And Hibbard looking to the end zone.
There goes that man again.
Dominic Goodman.
I'm telling you, man, he is tearing them up.
That's a nice catch.
That was a great catch. Wow, look at this. Boom. Goes to the corner.
Wow.
One hand. Oh, it was one hand the whole way. I thought he was going to put the other hand on it, but he kept it in the one hand, cradled it. Great catch.
He deserves that smile. Look at from the teammates, everybody. Hey, we're back in the lead, boys. You know, 46-42. That's what we need to do. You got to score when you have the opportunity. If you can touch the football, it's got to be yours.
That's for sure. And fans, we told you, get ready for some scoring.
That hurts. Those darn kickers, you know? Remember in training camp, Ricky?
Oh, I swear.
You see the kicker, he's over there drinking soda.
Oh, man, that hurt.
His little foot.
When
you played
linebacker. Yeah, it was time for us to run. Where are they? They get lost.
Yeah. That's a nice catch. Nice catch.
I mean, it's like you hate kickers. You really need them. And it comes down to it, and all of a sudden you love them when they make that kick. But if they miss it, it's about all those times they didn't practice.
We got a little pause in the action. Let's do another pause for a break that refreshes with Randy Miller. I think I'm mixing my beers, but here's Miller time.
Come on, who's got the best dance moves? Let's
go. Here I am in front of a statue that represents Hawaiian royalty, Duke Kahanamoku. This guy here was the father of surfing, 3-time Olympian in swimming. He was an actor. In this town, he is as big as it gets. And if you look on the arms of Duke, there are lays. The respect that he gets even in death. He died in 1968. I hear he swam until 2 days before his death. People love this guy. I think I'm gonna give surfing a shot. Looks like a piece of cake. This is a big board. Stand up. What should I have done differently, Sparky?
Where do I start? You got up well.
I fumbled.
You look more like you was rushing the quarterback.
I definitely
was going in. And if there was a quarterback, I think you would have blocked the pass.
Do you think I have a future as a surfer?
Man, we friends, right?
Yeah, we're friends.
It's gonna be a short future.
Well, guys, I tried my hand at surfing and it didn't work out. I am not a natural. Duke Kahanamoku, I'm not.
Well, I don't know what to talk about more in that piece. Randy Miller trying to surf. Randy reminds me a little bit like of a broadcaster version of he's like a combination of John Madden and Frank Cariello, the guy that imitates John Madden.
in his delivery.
Well, I'll tell you what, Randy, I love you like a brother, but you're no Duke Kahanamoku.
Oh, baby.
They show Randy on that board, then they show the Duke.
Yeah, it's kind of disrespectful, isn't it?
Well, no, it's not. I mean,
Yeah.
Duke's laughing and smiling at that, too. And you know what? Duke Kahanamoku, because I got a chance to meet him as a young boy, surfing out in Waikiki, he would have been the first guy to go over and shake Randy's hand.
Because he tried. Yeah.
That's right.
I give him credit. I didn't try.
Yeah, I haven't either.
I sat in the canoe and rode the wave in.
And you showed it when you walked up on shore, soaking wet.
Soaking wet.
Had
man.
fun, though, didn't you?
I did. They told me, sit in the back. You never get wet in the back. That's all that gets wet is in the back.
Yeah.
Boy, the Duke, man, what a legend. I read up on him. 4 Olympic Games that he competed in as a swimmer.
That's right.
Swimming in the ocean off the coast of Waikiki. What a legend. And
he
lives on.
And he really, truly is the father of modern-day surfing.
You said that when you were out there as a little boy, as a 5-year-old, and he was in his 70s and see him out there?
Well, he was in his 60s then, and when I was about, I'm going to say 10, 11 years old, he was in his, just going into his 70s, and he had a 14-foot redwood board.
14 feet.
14-foot wooden board.
Redwood. Yeah.
It's a heavy son of a gun.
I was about to say, that must be heavy.
He'd take off and he'd turn towards you as you're paddling for the wave, and then you'd look up and see Duke Kahanamoku and go, and you start to pull off. He goes,